Hey kids, this is Ivan. How you doing? This is probably going to be the shortest video I make on Broken Realms, and this is a video about playing characters, or more like character creation, or just a developing character over time. Something that I think would probably be the most compelling or fun way to do it. Certainly not the only way to do it. This is something I'm going to call, for lack of a better word, the one-trick pony. And we've all played games where people kind of optimize or min-max or whatever, and this is kind of like that, but not really. Different shtick. What I mean by that is this. You create a character, you pick a few skills that they're better at, and then some concentrations in those skills that they're really good at. And this kind of reflects what kind of person were they before they experienced this first fall and started to develop these bizarre powers. And so you figure out, okay, were they a police officer? Were they, really good with guns? Were they a very physical person? Were they a very mental person? Were they a salesman? Were they a clergyman, politician? On and on you go with real life skill sets and types of people, personality, history, motivations, appearance, and abilities. At that point, you can continue to spend more experience as you gain it in developing more skills, or you're getting better at your concentrations in mundane things. However, don't tell the story people this, or the narrativists this, because they'll make fun of me because I'm talking about story at this point. But most real compelling stories about stuff like this, the person who has discovered these new powers, what do they develop? They develop these new powers. It's about that. It's about their discovery of, where they fit in the world now, and what the nature of reality is, and, what they can do. And so I find that more compelling. So, you have this prime meridian you start out with, and then you have this prime quality, the one part of it that you're really, really good at. You get an extra die bonus. At that point, you can spend your experience points instead to increase your ability in that meridian. And what I mean by that is, just like you increase a skill, you're decreasing the target number you need to roll in each individual d12 to generate a success. So thinking you could continue to spend your experience there, in your prime meridian. As you develop more meridians, then you could, of course, your secondary and tertiary, you can spend some experience there to make the chance of success more likely per die. But also in that prime quality, that already gives you a 1 die bonus in that one particular prime meridian. Then when you have 4 points of distance, when you visit 4 worlds, you get this other prime quality bonus. So you can add that again. So at that point, you got another point of depth. So you're rolling 4 dice for your meridian. But with that particular prime quality, you can roll 6 dice. You spend some experience to really kind of beef that one up. And it's kind of like having signature spells, signature abilities, because more than likely you're going to be doing a few things over and over again, and pretty much depending on what kind of effect you want, you can do something that requires a few successes, like say you're a chancer, and just adjusting probability in your favor. And sometimes you're doing things that are really kind of mundane, but every once in a while you can make the highly improbable happen. And if you've kind of put all your energy and effort into that, as your characters become more and more experienced, then you do those things that are really kind of cool. Those things are, I don't want to say epic, because that's not really what I'm talking about. But that idea that your character is developing that skill. And that to me is a lot more in line with, once again, don't tell anybody, the stories that we're all familiar with. And I believe that would probably make those characters a lot more fun to play. Being kind of this one-trick pony instead of a jack of all trades, but a master of none.